Axia. The story goes, Jinxing from Wendeng was well known since childhood. He lived near Chensheng, and their study rooms were separated by only a short wall. One evening, as Chensheng was passing by a desolate ruin, he heard the sound of a woman crying coming from the pine forest. Approaching, he saw a woman tied to a tree branch with a ribbon, as if she were about to hang herself. Chensheng asked her what was wrong, and the woman wiped her tears and said, "My mother went on a long journey and entrusted me to a non-relative brother for care. Unexpectedly, he has wicked intentions towards me. Being so lonely and desperate, I might as well die." After saying this, she burst into tears. Chensheng quickly untied the ribbon and advised her to get married. Afraid of entrusting herself to an unreliable person, she agreed to temporarily stay at Chensheng's house. Upon returning home, Chensheng lit a lamp and saw the woman clearly. She was extremely beautiful, and he was overjoyed, wanting to share a bed with her. The woman sternly refused, and their argument reached the ears of Jinxing, who jumped over the wall to see what was happening. Seeing Jinxing, Chensheng released the woman. As soon as the woman saw Jinxing, she stared at him without blinking for a long time before turning and running away. The two of them chased her for a while, but she disappeared without a trace. Jinxing returned home and closed the door, just about to go to bed when the woman emerged from the inner room with a smile. Startled, Jinxing asked her, and the woman replied, "Chensheng's fortune is meager and shallow, not worth entrusting a lifetime to." Jinxing was delighted by this response and asked for her name. The woman said, "My hometown is in the Qi state, my surname is Qi, and my nickname is Axia." Jinxing engaged in friendly conversation with her, and the woman did not resist. They eventually shared a bed. Jinxing's study was often visited by friends, and Axia always hid in the inner room. After a few days, Axia said, "I will temporarily leave for a few days. There are too many people here, and I feel constrained and restless. From now on, I will only come at night." Jinxing asked, "Where is your home?" She answered, "Not far from here." After saying this, she left early. As expected, she came back during the night, and their affection deepened. After a few more days, Axia told Jinxing, "Though we are loving, it's still a fleeting affair. My father serves as an official in the western borders, and tomorrow I will follow my mother and find an opportunity to inform them. Then, we can be together for the rest of our lives." Jinxing asked, "How long will we be separated?" The woman said, "About 10 days." After Axia left, Jinxing thought that simply living in his study wasn't a long-term solution. He was also worried that his wife would be jealous of Axia if he brought her back home. So he decided to divorce his wife. From then on, whenever he saw his wife, he would insult her, leading her to cry uncontrollably and even contemplate suicide. Jinxing said, "You're causing trouble even in death. Please leave quickly," and he chased her away. His wife cried, "We've been together for 10 years, and I've never done anything wrong. Why are you treating me so cruelly?" But Jinxing paid no attention and drove her away even more urgently. Feeling helpless, his wife finally left the house. Since then, Jinxing renovated the house inside and out, cleaning it thoroughly, and anxiously awaited Axia's return. However, there was no news from Axia, as if she had disappeared without a trace. His wife, after returning to her parents' home, sought help from Jinxing's friends and relatives to mend the relationship, but Jinxing refused to agree. As a result, she remarried a man named Xiaohou, whose residence was next to Jinxing's. Due to long-standing property disputes, their families held a generational grudge against each other. Jinxing learned that his wife had married Xiaohou and grew even more resentful. Nevertheless, he still hoped for Axia's return so that he could find comfort. Over a year passed, but there was still no sign of Axia. Once, during a grand ceremony honoring the sea god's birthday, devout men and women gathered both inside and outside the temple. Jinxing attended as well, and from a distance, he saw a woman who looked like Axia. He followed her, and she blended into the crowd. When he tried to follow her outside, she suddenly disappeared. Jinxing couldn't catch up to her, and he returned home frustrated and annoyed. After half a year, Jing-sing saw a young woman on the road. She wore a red dress and was followed by an elderly servant who led a black donkey. When Jing-sing looked closely, he thought she resembled Axia. Afraid of making a mistake, he asked the servant first, "Who is this lady?" The servant replied, "She is the second wife of Master Zheng from the South Village." Jing-sing asked, "How long has it been since she got married?" "About half a month," came the answer. Jing-sing wondered if he might have mistaken the person. When the woman heard this conversation, she turned around to look, and Jing-sing saw her clearly. It was indeed Axia. Realizing that she had already married someone else, Jing-sing was filled with anger and shouted, "Axia, how can you forget our old pact?" The servant, hearing someone shouting at the mistress, got angry and wanted to attack Jing-sing. But Axia quickly stopped her and, lifting the curtain, said to Jing-sing, "You unfaithful person, how do you have the face to see me?" Jing-sing tried to explain, but he couldn't find the words. He looked at Axia, and she had already whipped the donkey and was riding away. All that was left in his heart was regret. That year, when the imperial examination results were announced, Jing-sing failed, and the second-place winner was indeed named Wang Chang. Zheng Master also passed the exam. As a result, Jing-sing gained a reputation for being unfortunate. At the age of 40, he still didn't have a wife, and his financial situation had deteriorated. He often had to beg for food from friends and relatives. On one occasion, he happened to visit Zheng Master, who warmly welcomed him and offered him accommodation. Axia caught a glimpse and felt great pity. She asked Zheng Master, "Could the guest in the front hall be Jing Jingyun?" Zheng Master asked how she knew, and Axia replied, "Before I married you, I sought refuge at his house during a difficult time, and he took care of me." Despite his humble behavior, his ancestral virtues have not faded. Moreover, he was also your friend in the past. You should help him. Zheng Master agreed with her reasoning and had Jing-sing change out of his ragged clothes, replacing them with new ones and allowing him to stay for several days. One evening, as Jing-sing was about to go to bed, a maidservant came in holding more than 20 taels of silver as a gift for him. Hearing Axia's voice outside the window, saying, "This is my private savings. It's a small token of appreciation for your past kindness to me. Take it back and find a good woman to accompany you. Thanks to your ancestors' accumulated virtue, blessings will still reach your descendants. Please refrain from doing unscrupulous deeds and shortening your lifespan." Jing-sing expressed his gratitude. After returning home, Jing-sing took out 10 taels of silver and bought a servant girl from a local gentry family. This woman was unattractive and fierce-looking. Later, she gave birth to a son who, when he grew up, became a successful scholar. Zheng Master rose to the rank of a magistrate in the Ministry of Personnel. After Zheng Master's death, Axia attended his funeral, and when people opened the curtain of the hearse, they found it empty. There was no one inside. This revelation led them to realize that Axia wasn't human. Alas, people lack virtue. They discard the old for the new, and in the end, their efforts often come to nothing. The retribution given by the heavens can be harsh indeed.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.